Well, thank you, Marco. This is my first NOAH conference. I was asked to speak about the Money Supermarket Group against the backdrop of competition. But before I go there, I thought I'd give you a bit of a potted history of my experiences at Money Supermarket. MoneySupermarket.com was one of the first fintechs, one of the first fintech unicorns. It was floated by its founder, Simon Nixon, in 2007 for $1.7 billion. The financial crisis hit in 2008, and I was asked to take over as CEO in 2009. What I learned taking over as a CEO of Money Supermarket was a couple of things. Firstly, founders are annoyingly talented. They're very passionate, they're very focused on the detail, they're very tenacious. But taking over from a founder is incredibly difficult. They have an incredible power base and they carry a lot of knowledge in their head. Taking over a unicorn is purely just a stepping stone. The harder task ahead is a long-term, sustainable, profitable business. And for anybody following me, I've got two tips for you. For a CEO of taking over a floated business. First, change the leadership team. They have all been more than handsomely rewarded for the float. And secondly, more importantly, it's about changing the culture and moving the organization to one with a single vision that isn't just about making money. And in my case, in Money Supermarket, we hit on a single ambition, which was about helping every household make the most of their money. And overnight, that changed the culture of the organization. So, a little about the Money Supermarket Group. We're 248 million revenues. We're about 95 million adjusted EBITDA. That's of 2014. But more importantly as a business, we measure what we do for customers. And in 2014, we saved UK customers £1.4 billion for free, no catch. That's the sort of culture within the business we strive for. We operate as a group. We have 3 trusted brands. We have MoneySupermarket.com, MoneySavingExpert.com, and TravelSupermarket.com. Why do we operate as a group? Well, the challenge is to have one single tech stack that powers all of the brands within the group, and we're an AEM house. Secondly, and more importantly, it's about how you use your data and insights. Our ambition is to have a single, joined-up enterprise data warehouse where we can join up all the insights about customer behavior within the group. And thirdly, it's about talent development. With 3 brands, we can move talent across the organization and grow careers within the group. Finally, when we look at Money Supermarket, we estimate that 40 million unique visitors a year touch one of our services across the brands. That's pretty much every online household in the UK. So, what about our business model? Let's use motor insurance as a case study of really what's behind the Money Supermarket Group. You have to buy car insurance in the UK. It's £500 a year, and it's something you never want to use. There's over 100 brands in the marketplace, and for a UK customer, you need at least 65 bits of data to be able to bring back real-time binding quotes and allow the customer to buy online. Our job is to make that easy and transparent. We engage the customer with an email 1 month before renewal using the data that we have to offer binding quotes to the customer. Secondly, we need to validate the data we own. So has the customer had a risk-changing event, whether it's speeding fines, an accident? And then, as a brand, we really add value in the results table. There, we bring back in real time over 100 personalized quotes for the customer. This is replacing the old insurance model in the UK where brokers used to make millions of pounds of commission and not offer anything like the range of brands that we as price comparison sites now offer. Fourthly, we need to comply with regulation, so we show the customers in detail the T's and C's of the policies. And then finally, if a customer wants to buy, we click them through to the provider so the transaction takes place between the customer and the provider. What business model do we use? When I took over, we had a lot of cost per lead and cost per click. I'm very clear, a cost per application is the only model I really want our group to do in the future. And why is that? Because it aligns perfectly every employee with matching one customer to one provider to solve one problem. And that's what the CPA model has really delivered for the MoneySupermarket group. So, why has price comparison sites in the UK been such a success? Hopefully, this next chart will show you. These are simple wordles of 2,000 people in the UK asked to answer what they thought, firstly, of their bank, insurance, or building society, secondly, managing their money, and thirdly, what they thought of MoneySupermarket. Interestingly, banks come out as greedy and untrustworthy. Managing money, which is the key service we offer, as difficult, hard, important, and stressful. And thirdly, when you ask them about MoneySupermarket, good, helpful, informative. So it should be no surprise that price comparison sites have really taken hold of helping customers in the UK manage their money. But what about the market? Interestingly, in each of the channels that MoneySupermarket works in, we have a very different competitor set and different dynamics. In insurance, there's about 71 million policies switched each year. The green part of the chart will show you how much of that is done through price comparison sites. Most of the insurance price comparison businesses are owned and were funded by insurance companies. And interestingly, the first to the market was Confused back in 2006. In the money market, it's all about cards and loans, where there's 38 million policies switched, and we were the first mover in 1999 with Mortgage 2000. And in energy, there's a big market, and this is the biggest savings customers can make. Again, the first entrant was Uswitch back in 2000, and now there's three major players, Uswitch, Energy Helpline, both of which have big call centers, and ourselves, which is a pure online play. So some interesting messages. The first mover in motor has not emerged as the leader in that category. In motor insurance, there has been no new entrant except Google in the last 5 years, and Google are still very small. So the barriers to entry in price comparison site are significant, and let's talk about one of those. Our biggest barrier is customer engagement. And the risk in fintech is that we all get a little too excited about the products we sell than customers do. And let's face it, on a mobile, there's lots more interesting things to do than manage your money or switch your motor insurance. And to put that into perspective, in the UK, over the last 10 years, the motor insurance price comparison sites have spent £800 million teaching customers to switch their car insurance online. That's on top of whatever we've each paid in pay-per-click. And let's face it, spending money with Google on pay-per-click does nothing to build a brand. So for me, the challenge is building a long-term sustainable business. And if you do anything, I'd encourage you each to build a really strong, trusted brand to engage with customers to use your services. So what does that mean for MoneySupermarket? We have a very simple strategy. When I joined, we set the vision of helping every household make the most of their money. Our mission is to help 13 million families in 2017 make the most of their money through three very simple ways. Be the easiest way for people to shop, be the most trusted brand for customers, and be the best way for your providers to work with you. So, that's my story from MoneySupermarket. Becoming a fintech unicorn is just a stepping stone to a harder task of building a long-term, sustainable, profitable business. I believe the CPA model is by far the best way to align our organization with customers, with providers, and most importantly, the regulator. And the first mover is not always the winner in a category. However, from price comparison, the first movers have built a strong barrier to entry by building brands, working really closely with providers, and most importantly, collecting data and using data, even if you're not quite sure what to do with it at the time. Our biggest competitive threat for MoneySupermarket going forwards is customer anxiety and engaging customers in managing money. So those are my lessons learnt. Thank you very much for having me. Good luck with your businesses, and if I can help, please do let me know. Thank you.